Didn't you see Sankar? When her parents realized that their youngest daughter had also disappeared, they immediately panicked. Cobra! Dream as big as an elephant. Sankar is an Indian boy who lives on the edge of the forest, where wild animals rule over nature. Together with his family, he lives by hunting and fishing. He lives happily, but he has one big flaw. He is a dreamer. Sankar also passed on the dream virus to his little sister, Annie. Say, Sankar, will you take me to the stars? You must have a small space in your rocket. Sankar smiled, then took Annie's hand and took her with him into his dreams. Annie becomes a princess or even a queen in palace that fill his imaginary world. Annie loves it. However, his parents didn't really like seeing him drifting too much in his dreams. Sankar, his mother told him, your mind is in the clouds. Sankar, his father scolded him, your mind is all over the place. And his parents stared into the sky. Despite that, it wouldn't be wrong to try to remind him. However, whenever Sankar tried to concentrate, his mind would be distracted, his ideas scattered, and he would go off to chase the butterflies. Anaga, his elder sister, mocked him. You are still daydreaming? Hirish, his older brother, advised him. You won't succeed at anything if you keep daydreaming. Hirish and Anaga, they want to live a successful life, can study in America, and have a job for their future. Meanwhile, Sankar is too young to have such ambition. For him, what he likes is daydreaming by the river and observing the silly antics of little monkeys in the big trees. He felt his country was too beautiful to live. He secretly admires his uncle, Amir, who lived with the elephants. Uncle Amir became part of the best elephant herders in the area. Sankar had seen him at the Festival of the Seasons. He was always amazed to see the forest giants decorated like Christmas trees. One day, his mother asked him to go pick coriander and bay leaves for lunch. Sankar set off with basket in his arms to go picking. He was walking daydreaming when he heard a strange sound coming from behind the bushes. The little boy drew closer out of curiosity and saw a large grey creature lying on the ground. An elephant? Amazing! But you are injured? The elephant's eye opened to see who was speaking. He saw a boy with no weapons hunched over nearby. He immediately believed him. He must be harmless with those big, dreamy eyes. His face is also so soft. Sankar understood that the animal had fallen into the trap of a large net. I will help you get out of there. Don't be afraid. The elephant could crush himself with its big toes, but Sankar didn't think about it for a second. The child released the rope that held the animal and freed its legs. The elephant stands to its feet, snorting happily while wagging its trunk from right to left. Then, he let out a very loud voice. Wow! shouted Sankar laughing and put his hand on his ears. Your thanks will burst my eardrums. Then, the enormous beast knelt down, inviting him to climb on its back. Without hesitation, Sankar began to climb up the enormous body. After sitting on the elephant's back, he allowed himself to be carried by the elephants. He completely forgot about the herbs he had to pick. The journey was too much fun and life too beautiful in his lofty seat to think of anything else. Didn't you see Sankar? Sankar's parents start to worry when lunchtime has long passed. He never remembers the time. Hiris grumbled. He really is crazy, joked Anaga. Only Annie knows the right answer. He is following his dream. However, no one listened to her. This is not the first time Sankar has disappeared like this. He would come back if he was hungry and would be punished as he always was. However, this time Annie wants to join him. She then left her village and followed in her brother's footsteps. When her parents realized that their youngest daughter had also disappeared, they immediately panicked. With Hiris, Anaga, and the villagers, they go in search of Sankar and Annie, worried for their whereabouts. Annie continues into the forest, not realizing that around her there are thousands of dangers lurking around. The weather was so sunny, and the birds chirped so beautifully. She felt very happy. Annie hums along with the chirping of the yellow-beaked hornbill and jumps with the birds from tree to tree. Suddenly, a hiss stopped her. There, a few steps away, was a terrifying snake. Cobra! The little girl stuttered. Her excitement suddenly stopped. The reptile stared at her with its piercing eyes. Annie became stiff, as if hypnotized. She didn't dare to move anymore for fear of angering one of the most dangerous beasts in the forest. Behind Annie, a soft rattling sound could be heard. At that moment, the cobra opened its massive jaw, ready to throw itself at its prey. However, suddenly Annie felt lifted up. Annie, hold on tight! It was Sankar, who heard the sound of his little sister and quickly came with his elephant. The elephant crushed the snake with all its weight, so that the snake flattened out like a gullet. Sankar, you saved me! Luckily, I'm not alone. My new friend is with me. He carries the wrinkled skin of his riding beast, which raised its trunk high and let out a victorious sound. The two children saw their parents and friends coming over hearing the commotion. The whole group formed a procession of honor for the three of them to the village. When Sankar and Annie got off the elephant's back, they talked about their adventure. Hiris is not angry. Anaga did not mock. Their parents weren't upset. They were very proud of their brave son. Meanwhile, the elephant is being cared for by Sankar. He names him Akhil, which means Lord. He becomes a true friend. Now, Sankar and Akhil explore the world of dreams together, and Annie can join them